Top of the agenda is the heralded arrival at AFL headquarters of Greg Swann. It's fair to say there's a collective investment in this appointment, the hope that he'll make the changes that are necessary and warranted and fix some of the glaring issues.
It's funny coming from Clubland, you sort of have a pretty narrow view of life, but, you know, you've got to do things here that are, you know, the whole 18 clubs have got to be in support. Well, not all of them always in support, but, you know, you'd like to canvass a lot of different views before you make a call. So, and you know, there's a lot of people who have probably already looked at some of these things as well. So it's just whether we can fast track some of these decisions.
26 years at Clubland and, you know, vast professional experience before then. I think he adds a lot to our executive team. He's been a great contributor to the game over many years, and he's now got the opportunity, you know, to make a contribution in a different way. And I think you see the knowledge is vast, and you know, we'll be the better for it.
What's your opinion on the standard of umpiring, Greg?
My opinion on the standard?
Yeah.
I think they're doing a great job. I mean, I think I said the other night, one of the things that's difficult for the umpires is the rules. We just need to try and, you know, make them a bit simpler, whether it's the stand, whether it's holding the ball, whether it's, you know, and again, that's something that I'm really keen to talk to clubs and coaches and footy managers about. Is there an easier way for these guys to have to adjudicate it? I mean, I think in general terms, I've said this a few times, and it's a bit folksy, but, you know, if I was in Brisbane and I wanted Zach Bailey someone to kick for my life, it'd be Zach Bailey. And the other week he kicked 1 5 and 2 on the full. So, you know, people make mistakes and they have bad days and whatever. And the umpies are no different.
He's a pragmatist, he's a terrific leader, he loves the game.
Yeah.
And you've got an interesting observation. He's as dialed in to not just Clubland and just but he's dialed into the constituency like few others.
Yeah. He's got a relatability which is really significant for everyone who's involved in the game. I think they can relate to Swanee. He is the everyman, and he listens to radio, he watches TV, he watches the shows. Every time you run in and talk to him, I saw you do this, I heard you say that. So, no, he's across the game from head office, and he's across the game in a way that the man in the out is across the game, and that's what's going to hold him in great stead, I think.
So what can he do in the short term? The main projects will be what does he do in the immediate aftermath of the season? What does he put to the Commission through October and November for the structure of a fresh season? But he clearly has a mandate and a directive around the length of quarters and the overall length of the game. And you've been dogmatic about this. You've helped us understand and watch the progression of it, just the breaking of time slots and the absurd amount of time and what can be done. And he has a view that he could make an impact on this by next week.
Yeah, he's 100% across this. And this is the challenge for him, is to be able to do this in such a way that it's not jarring for anyone. And it's not jarring to cut this game back by 4 minutes, at least, to get it back to what it was in 2021. And he will take the simplistic options, which won't impact in a major way. It'll be, I'm not going to wait for the two ruckmen. The umpire can now say, you ready, yep, and go, and away you go. That sort of stuff, I think, is the sorts of things that he could implement really quickly, and I think it'd be great for the game, but he'll do it in a manner that is, you know, sustainable and won't upset the status quo of what has been, you know, the 2025 season. But I'm looking forward to the off-season, massively.
Yeah, and the project around the umpiring, which he gave voice to there, the simplifications of the rules, what Adam Simpson laid out as the 19 catchments of the stand rule, and we know the various layers to holding the ball. It's getting something that is easily identifiable and can be implemented without all the layers of confusion and confection that's been added to it.
I feel like we've had our hand held really well by those boys who've invested their own time in the umpiring, and to have Ray here every week. So we've invested in the whole debate and the issue. So I feel like I've got an understanding of how that can be simplified. Not saying it's easy, but how that can be easier for them down the track at some stage. But that would be more off-season. Yep. Those big changes aren't going to be made now.
You were triggered by dissent yesterday.
Yeah.
You weren't alone in this moment.
No, I was just... This is what frustrates people when it comes to umpiring. And so... I don't know if we ever listen here. Is that sound up or not here? So this is the level of dissent. That slight little indication to the to the scoreboard was enough for that. Now that. So is that the standard we are expected to embrace as commentators, as supporters, to understand and then be able to impart that understanding to our viewers and listeners? Because if that's the case, then that is a nonsense and it's embarrassing, and they know it and you know it, everyone knows it. I've seen players do 100 times worse than that, and I'll show you some in a minute. And they've pointed to the scoreboard, and I've even mentioned this on this show. I mentioned this on radio. I said, "Oh well, that dissent's gone out the window." So it was hardcore for a while. Brad Scott brought it in. I was supportive. Okay, let's be hardcore. Get it back to respecting the umpires, because there was a challenge that the umpiring fraternity won't grow on the back of the abuse and everything else. So it was zero tolerance, and we all had to suck that up. And people were going, "Oh, I think it," and then it just slowly got released, and then it was up to us to work out where the water marker is. And for some reason, it's just been let go. And they go, "Well, you guys work it out, and we'll work it out." And so then you get that, and that wasn't too bad. Then you get a bit more comes in form of Harris Andrews, and then you get a little bit more in the form of all these blokes. Look at it. Now that's Jared, that's dissent.
Yes.
That's the dissent. And yet that's not a 50. And that poor bugger on the weekend just had a gentle point to this, like this. Don't tell me that is 50 metres. So just come out and say, "Look, yeah, got it wrong." No hanging offence, but try and take us along for the ride.
Which
so
is it?
We don't have to sit there in the middle of a blockbusting game at the MCG and go, "Oh, now you're paying it."
Yeah.
Round 19. So we've got a final series coming up. Clear it up before the finals. Absolutely clear it up. Is that zero tolerance? Because it's not right now. I just showed you. It's not zero tolerance.
Is it the 13 that have been paid, or is it the 130 that haven't
And is
been
it the
paid?
5 Adelaide Crows blokes doing handstands and doing backflips? Is that dissent or not? Clear that up before the finals, please.